All right, here's where we're going. These are my pretty accurate measurements. Let's be a little closer. We're going to start at 10 inches wide. We're going to go up 60. And then we're going to go 19 and a half wide. And down from this measurement, 19. Not this measurement, this measurement. Well, aren't they the same? They look the same. Well, that's because that's how I drew it. So I went out to the camper. And as you know, most of these canned hams have a little slope to them, as does this one. And we're going to lose about 7/8 from here to here. So this measurement, there we go. So it's going to be 19 and 7/8 from here. But this will be 19. I hope that makes sense. And then whatever that turns this into, we'll figure that out as we go. But that won't come all the way down because there's going to be a wheel well right here. So we're going to have to go up about 13 and a half anyway, because the wheel well is going to go like that. And the top of the wheel well is somewhere around 13 and a half. We'll get a good measurement on it. And so it'll just get set in there. But on the front one, it will come out far enough. That's against the wall. That's kind of how I was looking at that. But the front set of the cabinet, both of these will come all the way down to the floor. So, hey, we'll see. We'll see. That's what we're going to get started on. The reason that this is like this is because of this. Magic Chef. A little retro looking beauty there, isn't it? That's what the customer had shipped to us. It's a nice little retro fridge, little dorm size. I was afraid she was going to ship me something too big. But, you know, you got your place for your butter. And then where people put butter. And then your soft drinks and your cold beverages. And there really is a pretty fair amount of room in there. But we're going to make that fit right in this 19.5 by 19. Right there. And then closet space, cabinet space. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. All right, I'm going to get started on it. All right. I have built what I'm going to build other than the gaucho bed. That's the newest edition. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to sand down all that putty. We'll get that sanded down, and then that means that I am going to be ready to primer. Not primer that. That is still going to be stain. Stain, easy for me to say. So that'll be stain, but then everything else on here is going to be gloss white to go up against our pearly cotton. Okay, let's get to sanding. Enough standing around talking. Smooth as a baby's bottom. Good thing about painting, I always say. Covers up any mistakes you make. That and some good wood putty. Stain, on the other hand, it better be pretty close to perfect, because it's going to enhance any mistakes that you may have made. It's almost a shame to cover that up, isn't it? Could you imagine that with some amber shellac? Look at that. Whew, that's pretty nice. Pretty nice. I don't know what about this. Yeah, that'd be good too, boy. But the customer does not like the amber shellac magic, so we're gonna get to staining these two, and then I'm gonna put a coat of primer. Lay down a coat of primer, and once it dries good and solid, we'll come back with that gloss white, and then we're gonna be forced to build the gaucho. Big old drop down. It's cool though. But yeah, then we're gonna go gaucho on you. Gonna go gaucho. It's gonna be a pretty full 48-inch gaucho. So that'll be cool. You get to watch me paint next. It's a beautiful day here at World Headquarters. I have got all of my painting needs out. Everything that needs to be painted, sans the doors. Don't need the doors. You didn't need to see the television remote. Why it's in my hand? No idea. And anyway, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces that we need to paint. We're not painting these. These are going to be the same as the ceiling. These will be stained. So when I build the rest of the ceiling, after I get all of this painted, then the ceiling and these will get the stain at the same time, so as not to be wasteful. So I am going to leave those alone. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to primer today. Let it primer, get a good coat, good thick coat on it. Let it sit at least for 24 hours. Not that it needs 24 hours, that's just my time frame. And then we'll paint it. All right. Kitchen. Refrigerator cabinet. Oh, don't forget our little magazine rack. And kitchen cabinet. Already looks great with just primer. So we'll get some gloss white on it. And it's going to dry. It's going to dry real hard. And then we'll get on a real nice coat. Gloss white. Back at it. Got all of the primer laid down. Here's what we're going to use. Ultra Pure White 8050. Interior, exterior high gloss enamel. Gloss-like durable finish, which is important. Now, Bear's not paying me, just what I'm using. So I thought, hey, let's put this paint in that bucket and let's watch me paint this. Because wouldn't it just be a blast to watch me paint white over white? I literally was going to do that. And I'm like, why would you wouldn't notice a difference on camera? Sure, it's going to look great inside, but I'm not going to make you do that. You might as well watch paint dry. All right, here's what I'm using. Here's what I'm doing. And I'll be done here in a minute. Well, there is that super gloss, super bright, super white. Aren't you glad I didn't make you watch that? It's got a lot more sheen to it, obviously, than the primer did. And that sheen will come out even more once it dries. It's still wet. So instead of making you watch me paint it, I think I will just set the camera right here for about an hour, and Russ will double time it so you can watch the paint dry. Welcome to That Hurt My Face Theater. Let me correct this. Please note I did not say a bad word. And I'll get this on here. Squaring it up's not easy on your face. We'll be back. Through the magic of editing, you didn't have to sit there and watch me search for my glasses, curse. I said a half a bad word. I'm doing better. Camper's doing better, you can see. Got the cabinet up. Got the kitchen in. I tacked that in at the top. So the problem is, depending on what you're doing, it'll pull the camper one way or the other. Sometimes it'll pull both in, both out, just whatever happens. Now, you don't really notice it until you get ready to put on the ceiling and the roof. And then you're 75 3/4 at the front, but then you get up here, you're at 75. Well, what happened? Well, you didn't keep it square. And that's why I was willing to sacrifice my face for this camper to be square. That's the kind of builder I am. I want things as square as possible. It makes it look right. You don't want it the other way. So I'm going to continue putting that in. I've got it at the top where it's supposed to be. It's marked. Now I've just got to keep my square on it, or stay bubble on my 4-foot level, and just make sure that not only is that level, but this is level too. If it's bubble on, the roof is better. The skin looks better. So that's why I'm taking my time and sacrificing my looks. Not much to sacrifice, but hey, we should try to keep what we have. All right, I'm gonna finish that up. Wanted you to see where it is and how we're looking so far. And I was just bringing a plane in, wasn't I? Let me put that in. I probably have a concussion.